Join me as I revisit the 4-ingredient lunch from my school cafeteria, the rectangle pizza that changed everything. We'll uncover why simple ingredients can create real magic, the science of cafeteria nostalgia, and how modern cafeterias stack up against the good old days. We'll also look at the nutritional realities, the economics before and after, and the social currency of a lunch tray shared with friends. And yes, we'll try to recreate that magic at home and explore its lasting cultural impact as the legacy lives on. 1. The rectangle pizza that changed everything. You know that rectangular pizza slice that everyone remembers from school? The one with the crispy cheese edges and slightly sweet sauce? That was pure cafeteria gold back in the day. Sure, food today is improved, but something about a rectangle of pizza with crispy cheese corners still pulls on our hearts and stomachs. The beauty of this masterpiece wasn't in its ingredients, just pizza dough, sauce, cheese, and mystery seasonings, but in how it made us feel. This wasn't your typical pizza. The dough had this unique texture, almost like a focaccia bread but denser. It could hold up to even the most aggressive lunch tray handling. The sauce was tangy sweet, nothing like what you'd find at a real pizzeria, but somehow perfect in its own artificial way. 2. Why simple ingredients created magic. Sometimes the most basic combinations create the most memorable experiences. That school pizza worked because it didn't try to be fancy, it just needed to be filling, tasty, and consistent. These meals, weirdly consistent across the country, gave us something to bond over, complain about, and, somehow, cherish decades later. Every bite was predictable yet satisfying, like a warm hug from childhood. The 4 ingredients were deceptively simple. Pre-made dough that came frozen in sheets, a tangy tomato sauce with extra sugar, processed mozzarella cheese that melted perfectly every time, and whatever magical seasoning blend they sprinkled on top. Nothing gourmet, but together they created something that millions of kids across America remember fondly. Looking back, it wasn't really about the food itself. It was about that brief moment of joy in an otherwise hectic school day. Lunch was about talking, trading, teasing, and surviving, and the food was central to everything. That rectangle pizza became a social currency, a comfort, and sometimes the best part of our day. 3. The science behind cafeteria nostalgia. There's actually psychology behind why we remember school food so fondly, even when it was objectively mediocre. But that's the magic of nostalgia. Even the weird school lunches now feel warm and fuzzy in hindsight. Our brains connect those flavors with feelings of friendship, simplicity, and being carefree. School meals from that era were designed for efficiency and cost-effectiveness, not culinary excellence. Meals were high in sodium, sugar, and processed ingredients, but they were filling and fast, designed to keep kids full till 3 p.m. Yet somehow, that institutional approach created something uniquely comforting. The predictability was actually a feature, not a bug. 4. Modern cafeterias versus the good old days. Today's school cafeterias are more like food courts. But back in the day, you had what the lunch lady put on your tray, for better or worse. There were no choices, no customization, just whatever was being served that day. And honestly, that simplicity had its charm. The lunch line was a democratic experience. Rich kids, poor kids, everyone got the same rectangle pizza. Back in the day, we stood in line with our compartment trays and just waited for the lunch ladies to fill them up. Either we ate what they gave us, or we didn't, or we might trade. Those were simpler times when lunch wasn't about dietary restrictions or organic ingredients, it was about fuel and friendship. Now kids have multiple options, salad bars, and healthier alternatives. That's probably better for their health, but something got lost in translation. The shared experience of everyone eating the same questionable meal created bonds that today's customized cafeterias can't replicate. 5. The nutritional reality check. Let's be honest, that beloved rectangle pizza wasn't exactly a nutritional powerhouse. In a recent SNA survey of meal program directors nationwide, virtually all cited challenges with the cost of food, 97.9%, labor, 94.9%, and equipment, 91.4%. Only 20.5% reported the reimbursement rate is sufficient to cover the cost of producing a lunch. Schools were working with tight budgets and had to make meals that were cheap, filling, and kid-friendly. Today's school nutrition standards are much stricter. Updated sodium requirements for school meals include a single sodium reduction of approximately 10% at breakfast and 15% at lunch, set to begin in school year 2027-28. The USDA has been gradually improving meal quality, but it's a balancing act between nutrition, cost, and what kids will actually eat. 6. The economics of school food then and now. Running a school cafeteria has never been easy, but the financial pressures have intensified over the years. For the typical school meal program, the average reported cost to produce a school lunch exceeded the average free lunch subsidy by 49 cents, and the average reported cost to produce a school breakfast exceeded the average free breakfast subsidy by 84 cents. Those margins were even tighter back when our beloved rectangle pizza was king of the cafeteria. School meal debt has become a major issue that didn't exist in the same way during our childhood. The median reported district debt as of November 2024 was $6,900, which is 25.6% higher than the year prior and 102.9% higher than the median debt reported at the end of CY 2017-18. This puts additional pressure on food service programs to find ways to serve nutritious meals while keeping costs manageable. 7. The social currency of school lunch. That rectangle pizza wasn't just food, it was part of a complex social ecosystem. Kids who brought lunch from home would trade their homemade cookies for a slice of that cafeteria pizza. It became a way to connect, to share, and sometimes to show kindness to a classmate who forgot their lunch money. Whenever a group of adults that I know get together, from time to time the subject of elementary school cafeteria food enters the conversation. The lunch trade economy was real. Kids knew exactly what their cafeteria pizza was worth in the lunchroom marketplace. Maybe it could get you half a bag of chips, or someone's leftover fruit roll-up, or even a coveted chocolate chip cookie from a homemade lunch. Those negotiations taught us about value, fairness, and friendship in ways we didn't even realize at the time. 8. Attempting to recreate the magic at home. Many adults have tried to recreate their favorite school lunch foods at home, with mixed results. I recently tried this meal again and was really surprised at how disgusting it was. I remember it fondly from childhood. The truth is, you can't exactly replicate that institutional cooking style in your home kitchen. The magic wasn't just in the ingredients, it was in the massive convection ovens, the industrial-grade equipment, and yes, even the timing. That rectangle pizza was served at exactly the right moment, when you were hungry, surrounded by friends, and everything in life was simpler. Home recreations miss that crucial context that made the original so special. Some companies have capitalized on this nostalgia. Explore over 100 old-school foods like chicken rings and mac cheese sticks at Ginders.com. Relive your 90s school lunch memories with Ginders. But even these authentic reproductions can't quite capture the full experience of being 12 years old in a noisy cafeteria. 9. The health evolution of school meals. School nutrition has come a long way since our rectangle pizza days. A study published in JAMA Pediatrics in February 2023 analyzed data from over 14,000 children aged 5 to 18. The findings suggest that the Healthy, Hunger-Free Kids Act, HHFKA, of 2010, which significantly changed school nutrition standards, likely contributed to a reduction in childhood obesity nationwide. Those improvements are genuinely important for kids' health. Modern school meals focus on whole grains, fresh fruits and vegetables, and lower sodium content. National School Lunch Program lunches provide 1/3 or more of the recommended levels for key nutrients. Research shows that school meals are the most nutritious meals that American children receive. From a nutritional standpoint, today's kids are getting better fuel for their bodies and minds. 10. The cultural impact of shared food experiences. That rectangle pizza created a shared cultural reference that spans generations. No matter where you grew up, city or suburb, public or private school cafeterias, there was a universal sameness. Rectangle pizza? Check. It didn't matter if you went to school in Maine or California, everyone knew exactly what you meant when you mentioned that cafeteria pizza. These shared food memories create connections between strangers. Adults can bond instantly over memories of mystery meat, chocolate milk cartons, and yes, that unforgettable rectangle pizza. Millennials and Gen Xers are rediscovering comfort foods from their childhood. Food bloggers, TikTokers, and retro diners are fueling the trend. There's something powerful about realizing that your specific childhood experience was actually universal. The rectangle pizza became more than food, it became a symbol of a simpler time when choices were made for us and we were okay with that. In a world that now offers infinite options for everything, there's nostalgia for the days when lunch was just lunch, served on a compartmented tray with a carton of milk. 11. Why 4 ingredients were enough? In our current era of food complexity with artisanal this and organic that, there's something refreshing about remembering when 4 simple ingredients could create pure satisfaction. That school pizza proved that sometimes less really is more. It wasn't trying to be Instagram-worthy or impress food critics. It just needed to taste good to hungry kids. The genius was in the simplicity. Simple. Familiar. Always a hit. Every kid knew exactly what to expect, and that predictability was comforting. In a school environment full of tests, social pressure, and growing up too fast, at least lunch was reliable. Those 4 ingredients taught us that satisfaction doesn't require complexity. Sometimes the most memorable meals are the ones that don't try too hard, that focus on making people feel good rather than impressing them. That rectangle pizza understood its assignment and delivered every single time. 12. The legacy lives on. Retro meals are showing up in school cafeteria pop-ups, TikToks, and even high-end menus. Restaurants now serve nostalgic versions of school lunch foods, charging premium prices for what we once got for pocket change. Food Network has entire segments devoted to recreating childhood cafeteria favorites. The rectangle pizza has achieved legendary status. The future of school cafeterias may be high-tech and health-focused, but nostalgia ensures that these unforgettable lunches will never fade. Because sometimes, in the middle of a kale salad or quinoa bowl, we all wish to return to choosing between chocolate or white milk. That simple choice represented a time when our biggest lunch decision was whether to trade our fruit cup for an extra roll. The rectangle pizza from my school cafeteria remains my favorite meal, not because it was the best food I've ever eaten, but because it represents a time when simple pleasures were enough. 4 basic ingredients created something that transcended their humble origins to become a cherished memory. In our complicated adult lives, filled with dietary restrictions and food trends, that straightforward school lunch reminds us that sometimes the most meaningful meals are the ones that simply make us feel happy and connected to others who share the same delicious memories.